name's Gideon Newkirk. I'm a licensed massage therapist, and I have been doing massage for about 11 years now. Well, I mainly do injury treatment, so a lot of different types of massage. You can do things like lymphatic drainage or relaxation massage, sports therapy, things like that. I do more towards the sports therapy, injury therapy. I work a lot of like accident clients and people who are in pain. I don't enjoy really giving the relaxation massage. I know how, I just don't necessarily enjoy doing it. So I prefer the things with a problem, then fix that problem. Also helps people get out of pain, which is great. Very satisfying. With the sports therapy as well, as I do a lot of sports, and so it's just kind of something that I am more passionate about than the relaxation therapy. It's just something that I really enjoy doing and have been injured many times, which helps me understand how to help people, but also where they're injured at, because I've done pretty much everything you can do to injure myself and had to rehab it. So it kind of leans towards doing the sports therapy and injury therapy. I feel like I get a lot more benefit for people giving like things like sports therapy or Zen body therapy is what I do, but it's basically trigger point therapy, and it's sports therapy more. I feel like they get a lot more benefit from it, even though it's a lot more painful, versus relaxation therapy is great for the body. But a lot of people come to me in pain. They come to me with an actual injury that they would like to get better. And so when I'm doing the relaxation therapy, it doesn't really help with something like that. It can help stimulate the relaxation and blood flow and do a lot of great things, but not necessarily for getting somebody out of pain with, let's say, like a hurt rotator cuff or something. So I prefer to help people get out of that specific pain and fix those problems. So we do 50-minute massages here because we change out the room in between. So I need about 10 minutes to do paperwork, change the room. But it's scheduled as an hour block, but it's a 50-minute massage. Sometimes I'll go a little over 55 minutes if I'm really working on something. I don't want to stop in the middle of trying to fix something. But generally I keep it pretty on time because I then have to change out the room, get my paperwork done, and get the next client in. I live pretty close, so I'm able to go home in between, and then I can come back when I have a client or somebody comes in wanting to be worked on. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays when I'm working, and so I'll know Wednesday's schedule on Monday, and it can change slightly, but it generally stays about the same. So on Monday, let's say I have 6 massages on Wednesday. Sometimes I'll get 1 or 2 more, but generally it stays the same. And so I already know my schedule 2 days in advance. Normally I'm here from 8 to noon and then 2 to 6. So I'll usually give about 8 a day. And then I obviously do some of my own time. Like I work on like my wife and different people at home, my dad, my mom, my brothers and sisters. So I'll have more than that at home, but at work here I do about 8. Sometimes it fluctuates, goes down a little bit. It used to go up, but I don't do any more than that here anymore because I've been injured in the past trying to do more. So I just keep it at 8 here, and sometimes I'll go down a little bit. I'll do like 5 or 6 if people cancel. Every job I've ever had, I've always known somebody. I mean, I've worked a lot of different jobs throughout Lewis County and in the area, and so I know pretty much everybody. And so this one's no exception. I knew the guy who owned it before I ever worked here, and he asked me to work here. I actually had never applied for a job in my life. Well, it's not true. One I applied for, I didn't get. Every other job was asked of me to do gymnastics, all that. They always ask me, ballet, they've asked me. So I haven't had to apply for any just because I'm knowing people. It's who you know, right? Well, there's a lot of different schools in Washington that do like massage. I would recommend not going to one of the big massage mills where they churn out students and you get a basic education. And it's okay, you learn the basic stuff. But if you want to specialize, if you want to do relaxation therapy, right, and work in a spa and do mud wraps and seaweed wraps and all that, then you should go to some place that really kind of specifies towards that. If you want to do injury therapy, there's different places that specify in injury therapy. I know there's one up even in Olympia, I think it's called Body Mechanics, specializes more in injury therapy. The one I went to up in Tacoma, Alexander School of Natural Therapeutics, specialized more in injury therapy. And so I would recommend going to one of the smaller ones that specializes rather than just getting a general education. The general education, you're not going to be as happy, you don't learn as much about the modality you want, like relaxation or sports therapy or whatever. So that's what I'd do, is research first, and then get into which kind of school that you want the modality for. So you go there and you get a certification from that school and that you've done all the hours. Then you have to go take your state test. You can take the state or national one. I took the national one. I wouldn't recommend it actually because it doesn't allow you to work nationally. So they say that it's more prestigious, whatever, but really you have to do twice the amount of hours of CE time to continue education, and you have to pay more. So I'd recommend not doing the national one. Do the state one. National one's also like 3 times as hard, if not harder, than the state test. So just do the state test. As long as you keep your massage certification, keep renewing it, and then also keep doing your continuing education, you don't have to take it again. If you let it lapse, then you do. So it's not too bad to get it if you do the state one, and then the other is just proving that you did the hours. In Washington, I believe it's still 500 hours. The program I did was 900 because I did specialty and different injury treatments. You don't have to do those. There's only a specific requirement of how many hours of each thing, like relaxation therapy and different, like trigger point. You only have to do so much of each one. I did extra because I wanted to learn the different modalities, but I think it's only 500 hours still to get your license. That's for the state of Washington. It changes as you go to different states, right? Different places like California, it's only like 300 hours. It's nothing. You go to New York, it's like 1,400 hours. It's a lot more. And so you're gonna get people that are more qualified or less qualified, even just where they got their massage therapy license at. Doesn't always mean they're less qualified. They could have done a lot of work by themselves, but in general, they had a lot easier time getting it, a lot less practice and a lot less study to get it. In fact, there's still some states where you don't have to study at all. You just hang a shingle and say you're a massage therapist. It's hard on your body, like especially if you have bad body mechanics. Like, you know, I see people working on people like this all day long. After 4 clients, their hands hurt because they're using their hands and their back hurts because they're bent over, right? Instead of actually like having the body mechanics leaning into their weight. But more than that, if you're not passionate about it, after doing 6 to 8 massages a day, you just don't want to do it anymore. So definitely don't go into it if you're not something like, I want to help people, and you're okay working with your hands that much. I wouldn't recommend going to some place that didn't do anything. At that point, just have your girlfriend work on you, right? Like, same thing. It's important to me because it helps change people's lives. Trade helping people, man. You understand, I'll have people, I had this one guy years ago came into me, and I mean, he was barely moving, right? Like hobbling in here. And came in, and the first thing he said was, I don't believe in this massage therapy crap. I go, well, what are you doing here? This is massage therapy. He said, well, Dr. Moreau said he wouldn't give me any more adjustments unless I got a massage first. He said, I'm too tight. I said, well, tell me what's going on. And, he had sciatica really badly. He's an older gentleman. And so I said, okay, I think I can help you with that. I've helped other people with sciatica a lot of times. So I said, tell you what, give me 4 massages to make a difference, right? Not 1, then go home and complain it didn't help, or 2, give me 4 times to at least make you feel better. And he agreed. So first time, worked on him, he went home, came back and said, oh, I'm super sore and it didn't help at all. I said, that's fine, you gave me 4. So second time, came back and said, hey, I felt a little better. I could get out of bed without having to stretch and wait for half an hour before I got out of bed. I said, okay, that's good. So third time he came back and said, I'm feeling pretty good. Jumped right out of bed, a little bit of pain. And you know, that's just very satisfying. But the 4th time he came in, right, he's hobbling again. I went, uh-oh. And he said, well, I felt so good after that 4th massage that I went and built the fence, and now I feel terrible. But that guy's been coming to me for 9 years now, once a month with no pain. He's hiked around Italy. He goes down to like vintage sales all the time, stuff he loves to do. he can move, right? He can do things that he always wanted to do, and it's fantastic. I love getting people at that point to where they can move basically pain-free. We all have pain that we suffer with, but it's more daily pain. We shouldn't suffer from that long-term pain unless there's really an illness that we can't take care of. But muscular-wise, we can generally get out of it. And so I love getting people out of that pain. Another example, a guy who he delivers beer, and he had double shoulder pain. He tore one of his shoulders when he was younger and got surgery on it, then tore the other one and didn't get surgery on it. Hasn't been able to lift his arms above this for 25 years. Got him in here, and with about 5 massages, full range of motion, right? Go overhead. And just that, being able to do his job without that pain and anguish. I mean, every day trying to lift stuff and he's doing this. Then he's hurting his back, then he's hurting other things. And getting him to the point that he's like, I feel great, and living life and enjoying that. I mean, again, just very satisfying to be able to help people do that. Something I have a passion for is helping people kind of live their best life. So whether it's with massage or with, teaching ballet or things like that, helping them with their technique of how to just move better. It's just something I really enjoy doing.
For health and taking care of yourself, one of the biggest things is do your own research on anything and everything, whether it comes to food or
exercise, or even if you go to the doctor
or anything, like do your own research on it. Don't just believe what the
media or what people tell you as a general truth. Take it with a grain of salt, do your own research. There's a lot of things out there that are false information and people are unhealthy because of it. Things like Cheerios, which say heart healthy on them. Like, Cheerios are not heart healthy. Cheerios aren't healthy at all, really. It's processed wheat and sugar. So stuff like that, do your own research and then come to your own conclusion, whether you want to do that thing or not, whether it's an exercise your massage therapist gives you or information told to you from your doctor or whatever. And that's going to benefit you for being healthy in your life rather than just taking what other people say as truth, because plenty of people do that and then they're all messed up. And I work on those people every day. So try to do your own research on that. That's a general rule that I would say is going to make you happier and healthier.